not a vampire, not an alien. I'm not the fucking mummy, I'm a goblin.
Greetings, my goblin nation! Welcome to my video. Today we're talking and talking. What are we talking about today? Oh, we're talking about flashbacks. You know, when back in the day when theaters were drive-ins, kind of thing. Oh, those were the times. I'd remember. Oh wait, I was not born. Anyway, so yeah. So like, I would love to have a drive-ins. I would love to have drive-ins to go. Imagine driving in this era. We would have our car going in. I mean, there are drive-ins, but there's not so much money made into it. People don't give a shit so much about it. It's more like, oh, that nostalgia feeling that people, or oh, I wanted to be in that time. I wish I was in that time, kind of thing. You don't see it as you used to have seen. You see the movies. That's about it. You know, that's about it. So I love. In this time, you would have you have the movie, and you would have either they could do it some ways. They could have doing like everybody gets this box to listen kind of thing, and you have to give it back after the kind of thing. After the thing, you get like here is $20. You have to pay for it, so if you break it, you don't get your $20 back. So there are this kind of things that you get with Bluetooth. So the Bluetooth kind of thing got over, and you have then able to listen to them to the thing from your car, like you're around it, like you have those boxes. Kind of thing, so you can listen to the thing, or you have a headset, like those kind of things. Used to you need to be like, can I hear it? I cannot hear it. It's not loud enough. Can you stand it a little bit louder? Kind of thing. So anyway, that would be the thing. I would like be like, that is how you should do it now. Drive-ins, and it would be so cool. Of course, cars back then looked a bit cooler and were smaller, and things like you could see the screen. Now there are cars that are bigger, so if you are behind that car, it's like I cannot see anything. That car is 2 times bigger than mine. Get the fuck down, man! I cannot see anything. Oh my god! You have to set the screen very high now. And then you set it too high because one car is like, oh shit. So it's a little bit harder than it used to be for cars. Now it's like driving seem like a good idea, but also like a bad idea. You have to have lots of space so you can see the screen kind of thing. It seems like now there's like those things that make it very hard to be able to look at the movies in drive-ins. Now we're not talking about that. I just want to go to a drive-in one day. I want to see all this kind of things happening. I want to be able to. So if I have a girlfriend, I mean, I had a girlfriend, then broke up with a girlfriend. But if I have a next girlfriend and I would love to get into a drive-in with her, kind of thing. It's on a first date or second date kind of thing. A drive-in, that would be amazing, kind of for a second. Well, that's a love life kind of thing that we are on a whole other topic. This topic is about the theaters itself. So we all know theaters are dying. And dying breed. Certainly now while Warner Brothers like, you know what? Here's Wonder Woman, and here is King Kong versus Godzilla. Here is kind of thing. All of those movies next year are gonna be on HBO kind of thing. So if you wanna watch it, subscribe to this kind of. Yeah, sorry theaters. Yeah, we love you and you get the movies too, but yeah, we don't trust you anymore with this whole virus kind of going on. We kind of need some money, and you guys are not gonna provide that much money. So if you want it, give us money to kind of thing. But we are not trusting in you anymore. So here is it on this streaming service that you can watch it. So that's all gonna happen. So yeah, there's lots of movies coming to streaming kind of thing, and I think Disney is gonna follow. Disney is like, excuse me, you're gonna do that? We're not doing that. We should do that, Mickey. Oh we should definitely do it. Alright, we're doing that. The Big Mouse has spoken. We're gonna do that too. So yeah, it's gonna be on the all streaming kind of thing. The streaming war is not over, but the theaters are dying breed. So now we're kind of thing with having the history of theaters, all kind of thing, and that drive-ins are still something that's gonna be classic. So will be theaters, especially like one of those like they pop up on someday and then we're gone. So in my kind of experience, we don't have movies like Americans because I feel like American, I don't know for sure, I could be wrong, but there are some old movies that are like, here are some old movies now in theaters, like, with me, and nowhere around here it's ever been like, hey, here is an old movie, you can watch in a theater. It's like, it never happened, unless you're on a school trip, then it sometimes happens on school trips, but that's about it when I got it. I think I saw Annie on a school trip. Annie, what is Molly? I'm afraid. Be more afraid, bitch! Freddy's here. Oh, no, wait, wrong movie. Anyway, so that's kind of thing. So I want to talk, what I want to really talk about 5 minutes. This 5 minutes was all about the history of theater. All about how movie theaters are closing. We all know now, right? We all know those things are closing. We all know it's dying breed. But what I really kind of think, I want to go to my past. Let's talk about what my experience was with theaters. At first, when I was really young, I went with my mother to a theater. I saw Fast of the Fury. I don't know which one. I think Tokyo Drift, but then I was like, one of my friends like, I want to watch that movie. I'm like, I'm good for another theater kind of thing. So I watched it again with my kind of thing. So I watched that. I loved watching it. I remember Tokyo Drift because I watched it like twice in theater. I don't do that much. I also watched Thor. The first movie I watched in Brussels, kind of thing. That was a bigger kind of thing. I never been to that because I was here in a remote little town, in a remote little city, kind of thing, far away from what Brussels does. So Brussels has this big theater, this big kind of thing. While I was here in this small little thing. There are two theaters very close to each other, and they're never big. They have 5 things. There's the first one you can go into is very big, but it's like, in Brussels, they're like way bigger. In Brussels, you got this American kind of versions kind of thing. This you can go there. You can go to this little store. There you can have your popcorn and go regular and then go and thing. Here you got this little kind of cabin. Here you want popcorn. Here it's, but the difference between that is around here it's very much cheaper. Sure, I remember. Does anybody remember when it was like? For me, it was $4 in the beginning. When I go to theaters, I went a lot to theater. I watched every movie, every kind of thing. Thor, there were some specials, like I said, Thor, I went kind of thing. But Thor was also like when you went to Brussels. And I went to Brussels, and that was like $12. And I was in the time when things were $8. So, well, $6, $6.50 kind of thing. It was not so expensive as now. It was like between those kind of thing. But when you go to Brussels, it was like $12. You could have your seat. You could have ton of things like that's your seat. That's where you should be. That's kind of thing. You could do this all kind of around here. You could not do that. That was like, yeah, ticket and sit where you want. Doesn't matter where you want to sit, go sit. So most of the times I never watched movies when they came out. I watched them afterward. I had this, when I was kind of thing, when I was small, I went to watch, like I said, much to the fucking movies. I went there, I went here, I went there, kind of thing. Every movie I wanted to see, I watched in theaters. I watched a lot of movies. Tokyo Drift 3 because I went to. Sometimes I went to my friends, my neighbor. I went there, kind of thing. But it's like she watched it with somebody else. What do? Well, I guess I watch it alone. Sometimes I just don't even bother asking. I just go watching it alone. Kind of thing. It's like, because I also know, like, Yeah, Thor I watched with my father, but my father is not interested in that kind of movies that much. But yet, I watched some movies with my father, kind of thing. Those things happened when I was younger. I watched like some movies alone. I went to the theater, so I was 12, 30 years kind of thing. When I watched alone, I went to the theaters. I went alone, sometimes with friends, sometimes not. And then I come to this point in my life, I was like, I don't want to watch movies again anymore alone. That's so like I had the last real movie I watched Expendables. I think it was the first one. I watched it twice. The second time I want to watch it again. I wanted to watch it again, so I went to the theater and I was alone. It was this huge kind of thing. I was entirely alone. There was nobody. I was alone in this kind of thing. So I was like, YOLO! I just stopped yelling because nobody's gonna care if I yell. It's like there's not gonna be. Hey, can you be silent for the? Oh yeah, you're the only one. Never mind. I saw someone also like just running from across to the thing. Expendables. I sat not on the floor, right in front of it. Over the I'm making kind of things. I could do anything on that. It was like the only time there was. Nobody, not even second person. There was nobody. I was watching Expendables alone kind of thing. It was at the end of the theater, the Expendables kind of thing. When Expendables was already out for a long time, kind of thing. So yeah, I wanted to watch it, and I was alone. So I was a little bit playing kind of thing, going around. Now I don't watch it, but I used to watch a lot of movies twice or 3 times. Now I watched it like once, and in theaters it's now even not less. So that was that kind of thing. That was the last kind of thing. After that, I was like, I'm done going alone. If I know, then I had those great friends met from a game. We meet in real life. We were awesome. Kind of thing. We became friends, and I like breaking friends. We went to the theater. This was one of my favorite experiences because after we went to the theater, we hanged out in the city. We went into the city. We got kind of thing middle in the night. There was always other friends that joined the party, and I felt like, okay, they were kind of my friends too on this point. Like, okay, we're going to the McDonald's. Why not? And hamburger on 12 o'clock. Why not? I'm like, no thanks. Most of the time I was like, no thanks. But still, we went there. We talked a little bit more. We hanged out. Somebody was like, hey, you want to get high? But it was somebody that's like, we're like, no. We trying to be friendly. Also, we went left then because we didn't trust this guy. We're like, this is a little bit creepy. This guy kind of thing. And he's tried to sell us drugs, even if we said twice no. So we're gonna go. So we went from the spot afterwards. We went kind of thing. We saw someone saw in the Ford. Like, this guy came back. This guy came back after a while with some friends. We don't know what that would happen if we sticked around, kind of thing. But we were already gone. They didn't see us seeing them, so we were fine. We were gone, kind of thing. So yeah, that was a little bit close call. That I was not kind of. But I'm like, alright, we got it. We got this, right? We were at 5 feet. They were at 3. I mean, the one guy seems like he has a knife. The other guy seems like he wants trouble, and the third guy is on drugs, but whatever. Anyway, so we're kind of thing. We did this a few times. We also there was this one moment for somebody's birthday party. We wanna go into a birthday party kind of thing. We also went to his parents. His parents kept being in the city while we were in theaters. We went to his parents kind of thing. This seems all cool and all, and but after a while I'm like, you know what? This is all cool. I loved hanging out. I loved this kind of thing. But I was always the one asking. I was the one kind of thing. And they also were speaking off behind me kind of thing. They never invited me. For some reason, they never wanted to invite me. I mean, they invited me when I said, let's go to the theaters. They're like, alright. That's the only time they're like kind of thing. I was always the guy that went to the theaters with them. They never invited me to something else. kind of thing. And after a while, they also started talking about other shit, because I was very much a gamer kind of thing, Counter-Strike kind of thing, and we played that game together kind of thing. But Counter-Strike start to move on from Counter-Strike. I liked Counter-Strike still, so I was a little bit stuck on Counter-Strike kind of thing. I didn't want to play other games on that time. So yeah, we start talking about movies, and when we don't talk about movies, they start talking about games, and those games didn't interest me, so my interest also went a bit silent. So I was like, just talking. Before that, I was like, ha, yeah, I remember that. Oh my god, we should so do this kind of thing. And after that, like this movie, I could talk about movies. I can still talk about movies. Nuts! I can talk about it so much as I want. I want to talk more. No, more. I love talking about movies still, the games, TV shows. I love talking about those kind of thing. But they also talk about their life, and because some things are like, there's like, I was the friend that they go at the theaters with, while they kind of went. So on some point I was like, you know what? If they want to know me, if they still want to talk to me, it's their. I'm not gonna try to keep on harassing and trying to find want to go to theater that they don't feel guilty. And that's how my friendship ended, because I never heard of it again. It was not like, oh, you should talk to me now. No, it's like, They never tried again. I always the one that tried. I was always the so that died out. And after that, I also didn't go to theaters as much anymore. I went my neighbor. My neighbor was not my neighbor, because on this point I moved on that kind of thing to another place in the kind of thing. And from this place, I was closer to the theater, so I had a few times I went alone to the theater, because I'm like, I need to see this movie in theaters. I want to make a review of it. I want to see like the Joker. That was one of the movies I was like, nobody's gonna like this. My father's not gonna like it. Well, he liked it at the ending, but at the point I only saw the trailer, so I was not I was like, okay, I need to see this movie. I want to see this movie, so I want to go see this movie alone. Kind of thing. I was glad I saw this movie. I enjoyed the movie, and I went to kind of thing. There was actually, I think, the Joker was the first movie I watched alone from going here to there. It was fun. I had tons of fun watching that movie. It was just a bit weird. I don't like it as much anymore, going to a lone theater. But there are one of those movies. There is always a few movies I'm like, I need to see that in the theater. I don't care if nobody else comes. I get my popcorn, I get my drinks, and I watch the shit out of this. That's pretty much it, kind of thing. That's my whole story about my movie theater experience, kind of thing. Now nobody can watch the movies, but I feel like I also watched Star Wars, then episode 9. I think I watched that alone, but it also could be that one later. I'm not sure about that. But either way, I enjoy going to theaters, but I don't do it as much as I used to. I used to go way more, like I said, but now I'm like, I'm only gonna go when it's friend or when it's a very, very much a movie I really want to see without anybody spoiling it. That's also one of the big reasons I going to theater kind of thing. But when it goes on streaming, you don't need to kind of you just buy the streaming kind of thing, and you're set. Well, because spoilers are the thing. It's also Endgame. I think I watched alone, kind of thing. Captain Marvel is one of those movies I watched with my sister. Well, I actually invited my two sisters, but my one sister is like, not interested in me. Other one was like, yeah, sure. And I'm like, oh, really? She likes Captain Marvel. She liked it. She loved it even. Not so good as Wonder Woman, because that was her favorite, so kind of thing. But she liked Captain Marvel. I liked Captain Marvel. I still like her. Sure, it's not the best ever movie, but I liked it. It's on my top 5 of best movie. I like this pace of sure, it's not for everybody. Not everybody's gonna like it. I get it. It's a very much bad movie for the general public, but I am one of those morbid curiosity and kind of thing. Anyway, that's pretty much what I got for you. It's all like that's my whole theater thing. My sisters, I also watched Baba Yaga. Kind of, it's a very kids movie of the our country kind of thing, and it's a pretty fun, funny movie. But you see, it's dedicated to children. But I watched that with my sisters, my father, so the whole family kind of went there to watch it. Anyway, is that all I got for you? Is that all? Yeah, I think that's all. That's the general thing about my theater kind of thing. So now it's gonna be either never again or on some point. I think on some point I'm gonna go to theater, even if just to speak, because I also love going to the theaters kind of thing. It's one of those like, hey girl, I like you, wanna go to the theaters with you kind of thing. It's like the one easy, like you don't have to talk the whole time. You are a little bit distracted. I also did that with one of my friends kind of thing, that I still have to call back for on some point because I forget that. But it's always something coming up, and like, oh yeah, I want to go walking, and that's it. But that friend is like fun to hang out with, just for an hour going kind of thing. But when it comes to movies, I feel like, yeah, she's not that interested in the movies I'm interested in. Kind of thing. So I'm like, maybe she's just, there are better ways to spend time with this friend than doing this. What seems like kind of thing, just getting a drink seems like a better idea. Getting kind of thing. It's like I have always like a few friends I do this with, other friends I do that with. I had that used to, now I don't, but I have some friends that I really need to go, like, hey, let's go to this kind of thing, but I can't because the virus. Anyway, now I'm done talking. What's your experience in theaters? You guys like, oh, you wanna go to a drive-in? What is your past about your things? What is the last movie you watched before everything closes? Anyway, I wanna know it all. I think Bloodshot was the last movie I watched. No, Bloodshot I freaking had on Blu-ray. That's the last time on kind of thing. Anyway, goodbye, good night.
And then the days got worse and worse, and now you see I've gone completely out of my mind.